Over the last few days, I've built all of these floating shelves that you're seeing now in my garage. And in this video, I'm going to show you step by step exactly what I did so you can do it for yourself. First off, I recommend getting all your tools on wheels. Save your back. I've got other videos talking about this, and I can't stress it enough for somebody who uses tools regularly, especially this beastly DeWalt 12-inch sliding compound miter saw. I put that on wheels, and man, is it so much better than dragging that thing out and setting it up. So first thing you're going to do is cut your plywood. The top and the bottom is just plywood, and once you stain it and you wrap it with something nice, poplar or even pine, you're never going to really be able to tell that it's plywood on the top. At least most people won't. So anyway, I'm ripping this down to the desired size. I believe that was, around 8 inches or so. It just depends on what size you are building them at. So I just prepped up, got everything cut, and now I'm just starting to prep up the face of it. I'm going to wrap that in pine around the face and the sides. You'll see more what I'm talking about in a little bit, but I'm just making the most of my money here, ripping that pine down in two. Now I'm just kind of getting the length of each shelf prepped up. So the beginning part's all cutting, just prepping, getting all your pieces ready to go. So now I'm working on the skeleton. So the floating shelves are basically like a sandwich. So this wood here that I'm cutting is going to be on the inside of it. There's a top and a bottom, and then these little inside pieces will be what actually holds the thing together. So you'll see here in a second what I'm going to do with those. I'm cutting those skeleton pieces down to the proper size for my particular shelves. You just want to make sure that you don't cut them too big without thinking of the back and the front piece. See, that's the front piece that I'm putting on there, and those three little pieces are going to be what actually, see, now you can see I put the top on, and I'm going to sandwich it together. I'm going to glue everything and use my brad nailer to secure it all. And I'm just rinsing and repeating down the line. Today I built 8 shelves in total. So the process is the same really for whatever size you're building. It doesn't really matter. The process is the same. So making a sandwich, gluing it, and nailing it together. So those shelves there are 42 inches in length, and you can see kind of how they went together there. And now I am cutting the face. I had some nicer pine that I bought at Lowe's, and I'm just cutting it down to the length that I need, and I'm putting miters on it, so it's gonna look kind of seamless when it goes together. So I start with the face and get everything lined up, and I put a little test piece on the sides so I can see how my miters will line up. And once I have everything kind of how I want it, then I'll put a nail in there and go to the other side and make sure everything's good, and then I'll send it all home and put more nails in it. So here you can see on the side how it the miters meet up, and boom, it looks nice and seamless there. So you're gonna go in later and fill it with, at least I did, with wood filler. So if there is any discrepancies, you should be able to cover that up as long as they're not too bad. But there you go, that's what it looks like. And so now I'm just going through and I'm filling all the little nail holes with stainable wood filler. So if you are going to use wood filler, just make sure if you're staining it that it is stainable. After you let that dry, just sand it all out, get it nice and smooth, and then you're going to be ready to start staining it here. So after you're done sanding, I'm just going at it with 220. Nothing crazy right now. And after that, it's time to start staining them. So I brought them inside the garage, and just one by one I'm going through and staining each one. Not the most exciting of tasks, but this is what makes it look good. So take your time, make sure that you're not having big splotches anywhere, and all will be well. After you get the stain on there, you want to start putting your backer pieces up on the wall. So I'm prepping them out here right now. I'm pre-drilling the holes, and you'll see in a minute what I mean with the backer pieces. So this is going to go on the wall first. I'm lining it up. I'm going to level it, make sure everything's exactly where I want it. I have everything marked out. I drill a hole in the center first with my drill to make a mark on the wall, and then I take my hammer drill and I go through the concrete. With that, I'm going in a block wall, so it's a little bit trickier than in drywall with studs, but it's relatively the same. So I'm just going around with my hammer drill and send it home. After that, I got a level on the bottom, so I make sure it's level as I go. I'm lining it up with the one beneath it. In this scenario, I'm having 4 shelves, 2 on each side, so you make sure that they're going to line up with each other using your level, and you just repeat the process. A lot of repetitive tasks in this floating shelf installation. So there's brackets that you put on. So the brackets are what actually gives it support in the center area of the shelf. So you want to size your brackets accordingly to whatever size shelf that you are going to put on there. And then as long as you built it, everything's square, then it should, as you can see here, this is what it looks like on the inside, but it should just slide right on to those brackets, and it should be a snug fit. You want to make sure that the bracket you screwed into the wall is the same size as the skeleton pieces you put on the inside of it, so that'll keep it nice and tight. So once you slide it on, listen here, you'll hear what I'm talking about. This is the sound that you want to make sure you hear. So that's how you know it's nice and tight. So after you do that, you'll just send it home with a couple of nails in the back, just into the backer piece, through the top of the shelf or the bottom, and that way it won't slide off the wall. And then it's time to start decorating your shelves, put some artwork up there, some plants, make it look good, and bam, total transformation.